What's up, everybody? Today we are doing a walk in Maysville, Kentucky. I think you're really going to enjoy this place. It's a historic town in northern Kentucky, to the east of Cincinnati. Hopefully it's not too windy. It's a winter day. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well. Let's go for a nice walk. All right, we are starting our walk on beautiful and historic Market Street. Pretty gorgeous. We're gonna circle back, but down there is the Ohio River. So we're gonna go check that out with some flood walls and everything. Some beautiful cobblestone streets. I don't know if you can read that, but it says that's used to be the Ringgold Lodge, built in 1914. Looks like it's currently being repurposed, but not finished yet. So Maysville is a really cool town. It's not on a major interstate, so it's been bypassed for like huge development. But before there was the interstate highway system, the interstates were the rivers. And so this used to be an incredibly important town upriver from Cincinnati. So between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh on the Ohio River is Maysville. And a lot of older Kentucky towns, because of how many rivers define the borders of the state, a lot of old Kentucky towns are actually, and it's a pretty day, goodness gracious. I'll show you the weather here in a minute. But anyway, a lot of old Kentucky towns are river towns. What a pretty place. I think you're going to like this walk a lot. It's a historic town, and a lot of people still live and work in Maysville. It's not abandoned, it's not falling apart. It's a beautiful downtown. All right, and we'll try and pull the weather up here. Show you, it's a really cold day. See, my screen's not very bright right now, so hopefully it shows. Maybe it not. Okay, so it's 38 degrees. It's partly cloudy, partly sunny, depending upon which way you want to look at it. There is the old Masonic Temple. That's what that building is. Built in 1886. It looks like we're walking next to the Russell Theater right now. And here, we'll cross the street so you can see the theater. And you can see this beautiful old house here too. But a lot of money in Maysville once upon a time, and a lot of old money still here probably. Look at that theater building. Absolutely amazing. So let's keep walking. I don't pretend to be an expert on Maysville. Pardon the shakiness, I was putting on some gloves. But I do know a lot about Kentucky history and old Kentucky towns in general. There's the high school gymnasium for Maysville High School. Lots of churches down here too. Morning. Hey, pup, pup. There is another church. Church of the Nativity. Red door, so I think that's an Episcopalian church. And also Maysville looks like it's got Christmas ornaments out. What I didn't say is that this is a Saturday morning, sometime right after Thanksgiving. There's a cool storefront over here. Nothing in this one right now, but a neat building. Built in 1884. And there, across there, oh, there's a car coming. That's a trolley. But you can see the bridge across the Ohio River to Ohio from Kentucky. Huge church right there. So we'll wait for this trolley to go and then we'll cross. And there's the bridge across the river. Some old row homes. And we're making a big loop, so we'll come back down by the river. We're gonna check out all these old houses first. And I might find a hot cup of coffee because it says that it's warming up, but I don't think it's gonna get more than 45 degrees today. Kentucky gets pretty cold winters. Not much snow usually. Cool old back alley behind some homes. Yeah, not much snow usually. Sometimes ice every couple of years. Every once in a while we get a big snow around February. Let's see. Keep going a little bit more or cut across? Oh, this is the entrance to the bridge, it looks like. Let's go check it out. Oh, and here's the historical marker. For those who want to read it, I'll pause for a second. Okay, I know I didn't linger long enough for you to read that, but you can pause it. I don't know if you can walk on this bridge. Wouldn't that be cool? If this was a footbridge too? I have no idea if it is. Looks like the sidewalk at least goes partway up. Man, it's gonna be cool if we get to walk across the Ohio River into Ohio on this walk. I'll do it. I'll take you guys there. But if the sidewalk doesn't keep going, then I will not take you there. We'll see. I hope so. Pretty cool bridge, actually. And there's the town. We'll come back and walk through. Let's see. So far, so good. Can't see around that bend yet. We'll keep going. Oh, we're doing it. All right. Oh, and here's Main Street. So we'll come back down and walk down that Main Street for sure. How pretty. But first, let's do it. Let's go check out the Ohio River from the top of this bridge. I don't think this is my first two-state walk, though. I think I walked from Louisville to Indiana across down at the waterfront park. Man, this is some old stuff here. Maysville Aberdeen Bridge, built in 1931. So, oh, here we go. This is the Simon Kenton Memorial. Died in 1836. He was a brigadier general. Wow. A lot of history here, for sure. Oh, and here we have the Ohio River. And also you can see, and you probably can't hear me very well anymore because of the traffic, but you can see the flood walls protecting the city of Maysville. The river for when it comes over its banks. This is a bonus treat. Honestly, I thought we were going to do a walk in downtown Maysville, but I didn't know we were going to get to walk across the bridge. How cool. I know you can't feel it, but every time a car goes by, the whole bridge shakes. I'm loving this. I hope it's as cool on video as it is in person. This is really neat. So I think I have to go all the way across the bridge to get to Ohio, because I think the water here is technically in Kentucky, even though it's the Ohio River. But honestly, I'm not very sure about that. So either I've already crossed over into Ohio, or I have to get to the other side. Either way, not too much further. But what a cool treat. This is amazing. All right, we are exactly a third of the way across the bridge. We'll get to halfway at the peak up here. And it looks like the town on the Ohio side is tiny. Maybe a gas station and some homes. Probably a school. But not too much more. The huge Ohio River. That way is Cincinnati, and that way is Pittsburgh. And there's a lot of amazing old towns along these rivers. And if you ever get a chance, pick a river and get off the interstate and just drive along the side of the river, and you'll see a bunch of old manufacturing towns where they used to make, in some cases still do, incredible products for the whole eastern half of the country. I think most of southern Ohio, once upon a time, was very famous for ceramics. All right, and we've crossed the halfway point of the bridge, and we're heading into Ohio. I haven't seen a Welcome to Ohio sign yet, so potentially we have to cross the bridge to get to Ohio all the way and set foot on some solid ground. Honestly, this bridge feels a little bit more modern than the 1930s. So maybe it was majorly refurbished. But at any rate, it's very substantial for a small town like Maysville, for sure. There's another major suspension bridge downriver. I'm not sure if you can see it. And then I think if you get all the way down to Cincinnati, which I think is about 20 miles downriver-ish, I think there's 7 bridges across the Ohio down to Cincinnati. Some pedestrian, some railroad, some interstate, some smaller road, but I think 7 total bridges. Just heard my first creak in the metal. That's a little disconcerting. Sorry, for those of you who are regular watchers, a bit of a wonder. And subscribers, first off, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. You continuing to watch the content and like the content motivates me to continue to get out and explore and share back what I'm seeing across the southeastern United States, across the US, and across the world with everyone. So thank you, first of all. And secondly, an apology. We've had a lot of driving videos lately and not as many walking videos because this is a very busy time for me at work. This is not my full-time job, although that would be amazing. We can check out, there's Maysville. You can imagine coming down the river on a riverboat or on a barge in the 1800s, 1700s, and seeing what would have then been a metropolis. Huge city for the river. But anyway, lots of driving videos lately as I've been driving around the state and around Tennessee and Indiana. Not as many walking videos. Number one, it's cold outside here. But number two, busy at work. So my apologies, and as we head through December and into January, you're going to see a lot more videos walking and exploring different locations that I haven't been to, more parks, more small towns, more cities, maybe even a couple of zoos. And we're gearing up for Malta, which is a huge departure for what you're used to in this channel. Big difference between Maysville and Malta, but scored a pretty great deal. It'll be my first international trip since COVID began. The closest I've been to an international... That was loud. The closest I've been to an international trip is going to Niagara Falls and looking across at Canada. We still weren't allowed to travel across to Canada at that point. But excited to get to Europe, pending any dramatic changes in the COVID situation. That trip will occur in mid-January. So be on the lookout for me wandering historic ruins and forts and walled cities, going on hikes in the Mediterranean. Should be amazing. International travel is really a passion of mine that you guys haven't had a chance to see much of, because I started this channel during COVID and travel has been restricted, to say the least. Beautiful tree here. Love it. All right, we'll walk a little bit more because I have to set foot. You can see there's the Welcome to Ohio sign in the distance down here. And I have to actually set foot across into... I have to look down and see solid ground. Here we are. Ground beneath us means we've crossed over. We're in Ohio. Very small town. And we're definitely heading back. So we've been walking about 15 minutes. We'll get at least another 15, maybe half an hour in. This will either be a 30 or a 45 minute video, but we're gonna go check out Maysville that you can see over there. I'll zoom in so you can enjoy it on this walk across the bridge. But we're gonna walk back across the bridge, go check out downtown Maysville. And I think I may post a video too of the drive between Lexington and Maysville. It's really, really pretty. And today we've got nice clear blue skies, a little cloudier earlier this morning. A nice winter day. So those of you who are regular viewers, you'll have to, in the live chat or in the comments, let me know what you think of all the virtual drives. Hope you could hear that. Let me know what you think of all the virtual drives. They're all in the playlist for virtual windows. Virtual windshields, I should say. Virtual windows are something different. The virtual windows are static scenes, usually with some lo-fi music or classical music. Virtual windshields are the dash cam videos. And I've got playlists for both, along with all types of work. We're almost at 500 subscribers. If you're familiar with the rules of YouTube, when we get to 1,000, we'll get to start live streaming and have more interactive walks where we can explore places live together while chat is going on. Very much excited about that. And I've got my setup ready to go. I do need to look into probably a dead cat. Those of you who are not familiar with what a dead cat is, it'll kill all this wind noise you're experiencing. So I'll look into that. I'll ask some other YouTube walkers for some advice on that. And while we're talking about YouTube walkers, a couple of others that were very inspirational to me that probably you know about already, but in case you don't, you should check out Tokyo Explorer, who streams live videos usually, and also some 4K videos from Tokyo and surrounding places in Japan and sometimes around the world. And then also Jaycation, who is out of San Diego and streams on the West Coast, and Action Kid. And Action Kid is in New York City and frequently travels around the United States. And they all have been very inspirational for me in starting my channel. And I'm eager to begin live streaming as soon as possible to join them as walk live streamers. All right, we're almost back across the river in Maysville. And I saw a gas station, so I might try and get a terrible cup of coffee. And we've got a historic riverfront walk down here with the moorings. I've only been here once before in my life. Came here once with my daughter. That was in the middle of the summer though. A little bit of a different vibe. No Christmas decorations and hot instead of freezing cold. Very hot, actually. right, we'll zoom back out, get a little bit more of a wide angle for the downtown walk so you can see a little bit more. You can see the moorings in the park down there. We'll go check it out. But I think we're gonna have to walk around the block a little bit down here because I think the staircase that I saw was temporarily closed down. No big deal. All right. I'm so glad we got to walk across the bridge. That was unique. And those of you who didn't want to walk across the bridge and skipped ahead, welcome back. I guess those are footings for an old bridge or floating moorings for larger boats. Not 100% sure. But it looks like this mooring here is definitely still usable. I'm not sure how one would get permission to moor up. I guess if I had a boat, then I would know the answer to that. I don't know if you have to pay a fee or if it's just public moorings. So since we can't do live streams yet, if there's anything you've been wanting to know about me as a person, drop that question in the comments or ask me during the live chat on one of the premieres. With most things, my goal is to be an open book and let you get to know me as a real person, who I am, what I'm all about. I think it's much if we have a real relationship and if this community is built in something genuine. So I'm committed to letting you get to know me. Certainly not details that would be unsafe to provide, but I want you to get to know me as a person. And I'd like to get to know you as well. All right, you can look out over the city. This is a great view. And we'll head back down Main Street after we check out this park. All right, that looks like the only option that I've seen open for a terrible cup of coffee. I'm gonna regret this though. As soon as I purchase it, I bet I'm gonna find a cool independent coffee shop downtown. If so, I pledge to dump my coffee down the drain and purchase something from the cool local independent coffee shop. We'll see if I find one. Oh, staircase is open. Cool. All right, so viewers, I'm gonna put you on pause. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. And the coffee looked terrible, if I'm being honest. So I didn't get a cup of coffee. So we'll be on the lookout for a local coffee shop downtown. I'm confident this cool little downtown has got to have a quirky little independent coffee shop. We've got a Christmas market set up here in the square. I love it. And here is the local newspaper. Love small towns. I know there's a lot of YouTube walkers out there doing huge cities, and those are endlessly fascinating to me. But I hope you guys are just as fascinated by small town America. Get a chance to see something different. The Mason County Spy Company Wow. I'll take a second and read this. How cool. Wow. All right. This is a little waterfront park that we saw from the bridge, and we'll go down and check out the moorings, and then we'll check out the floodwall murals, which are kind of showing the history of this part of the country, with certainly the acknowledgement that the history of this part of the country starts well before the pioneer settlements on the first mural. Oh, this is neat. Look at this. We've got, looks like handmade ceramic tiles from a local school with things that are important to the kids. Pretty neat. And there's our bridge. She is a beauty. It's a really neat place. I bet it would be a great place to live too. I still need to stamp my cover photo for the video. I took one of that Welcome to Maysville mural, but I'm thinking there's got to be a great shot coming up of Main Street. All right, let's check out these murals. All right, the first mural, we have Native American Indians hunting buffalo. The river valley in the 1600s, hunting grounds. And then we have Limestone Landing, the arrival of the first white settlers. And then we have the Marquis de Lafayette, received at Maysville, the Fish Street Landing. And the plaque here says, on May 21st, 1825. So after the American Revolution, he was a hero and came and toured the country. Amazing. And then we have Sutton's Landing, and this is where the town is really starting to get built out, and you can still see some of these buildings are still here. And a Maysville and Cincinnati riverboat. And then the Underground Railroad and slaves from the South who have escaped to freedom, crossing the Ohio River to the north. And if you're interested in the history of the Underground Railroad, I highly recommend the Freedom Center, which is a museum in downtown Cincinnati. You can check out some of their collection online, but it's great and it's well worth a visit. Certainly well worth a visit. And then you've got the Riverfront of Maysville in the early 1900s, post-Civil War. I love the details. You see a lot of cool details. So you can see right here, it says Big Bone Lick Natural Mineral Water. Big Bone Lick is now a state park. There's a huge salt lick there. And actually a lot of dinosaur fossils were discovered in Big Bone Lick. And then you've got a horse sale place, and then a coal barge coming down the river from West Virginia. Amazing. And then on Main Street, we've got an old granary, which has been, looks like, converted into loft apartments. And this is an old hotel here. Kind of a classic old hotel. Look how blue the sky is. Gosh. What a day. It's starting to warm up actually. I took my gloves off. This is the French Quarter Inn and Restaurant. Proud old inn it looks like. And looks like it's well maintained. Alright, so I think from here we're going to head back up to Main Street and check out the Christmas decorations. What a place. And you can see there's a lot of people downtown still. On a Saturday morning. Looks like still an active spot for shopping. All right, we've got Bradley's Boutique and a haberdashery. Oh, and over here we've got the high school auditorium. All right, so let's flip around and get this view of Maysville. And I'm gonna have to try getting into the middle of the road here if I can find a time with no traffic so that I can get a shot for the cover. Okay, all clear. All right, you'll probably see that one on the cover. All right, let's check all these buildings out. Really old. You can tell they're pretty old. Look at the stars up here on the side. Those are iron stars, and the little bolt on the middle runs all the way through the building, and it helps prop up the wood floors. Look at the mural up there. Gorgeous. And more iron stars at the top of that building. Surprised there's not an old mural. You can see there used to be another building right next to this one and attached. It's no longer here. We've got a salon and looks like a crafting studio. Still no coffee shop. I'm not going to give up. We're going to keep walking all the way down. And here's Market Street, so we're going to come back to Market Street. That's where we're parked. Morning.
Good morning.
A good old Kentucky town where everybody wants to say good morning to you. I still love it. All right, well, we've got a Korean kitchen. If I was here in the afternoon, that's where I would be going. And O'Rourke's Neighborhood Pub. Oh, and more murals. The murals weren't done. My apologies. See if you can. I thought the murals were done. It looks like they go through modern days. Rivertown Entertainment. Rivertown is the nickname of the city. Laser tag, parties, and family fun. Oh, look at those old buildings. I went across the street because I think we've got some really pretty old buildings on this side too that you need to see. Oh yeah. Oh, that's Sprinkles of Hope Bakery and Cafe. Closed. So I'm thinking maybe I don't get coffee today, if that's the coffee shop. We'll see. There's an antiques dealer, a furniture place. And this is the Bank of Maysville. Beautiful old building. And beautiful Christmas decorations too. And music piped into the whole city. via speakers. Love it. And here's a little park that's been decorated with a Christmas tree. And there's a lot of window decorations. Morning. Wow. All right, we're gonna cross the street here. I want to see this one from across the street. And this is a beautiful building. Look at this one. Morning. Morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. A little brisk out today, isn't it?
A little chilly. All right. I hope you like that little bit of ambiance. We got one more mural down here I want to check out. It looks really cool. And a really old property that looks like it's now apartments. That's very cool. That's got to be from the 1800s or at least the early 1900s. I don't know what it is. I'm going to go check it out though. I see a lot of electrical meters, which means it's usually been subdivided into properties. We'll see if there's a historic marker down here. Yeah, how cool is this? And then we've got the old cobblestones too. And it looks like one last mural down here of a Kentucky tobacco harvest. Pretty amazing. I'm not a smoker, but growing up in Kentucky, did harvest tobacco a few times. Quite an experience. And there is a very, very good article in the New York Times right now. So that would be late November. If you get a chance to look it up, I forget the author's name, but if you get a chance to look it up, he talks about the current state of the tobacco harvest and what it's like to be a migrant worker in Kentucky harvesting tobacco. Oh, and here we go. Here's the historic marker. It's not much of one, but this is the Lee House. Built in 1835, famous old inn. So we were right about the famous old inn part. And I'll show you one of these iron bars up close. You can use them to kind of identify a really old building, because we don't do it this way anymore. And like I said, that runs the length of the whole building. Oh, here's the more official. Pretty incredible. So we will go one more block up on Main Street and then circle back to the parking, and we will continue to cross our fingers. Open coffee shop somewhere. And if your dream is to open a small town coffee shop, it looks like there might be a spot for you in Maysville, Kentucky, downtown. And those of you who are longtime viewers understand that I talk about coffee a lot because I work in the coffee industry. And I think this is shaping up to be like a 45-minute walk. So that's nice. There's the Opera House. The Washington Opera House. I wonder if we'll get a date on this one. Looks a little newer than some of the other stuff we've seen. Still gorgeous. I don't see a date on that one. It's a quilt shop and a hardware store. And it looks like this may be just about the end of downtown and into some residential. So we'll go down here and peek around the corner. Wow. The attention to detail and quality of building in these material in these buildings in downtown Maysville is absolutely amazing. Some of these buildings have been here since the early 1800s and look like they are absolutely still going strong. Antique furniture reproductions. And this is Wall Street. Probably this Wall Street has less to do with stock exchanges and more to do with that wall down there that protects the city. Fantastic. All right, now I have a very important historical marker to show you. So there you have it. That's some critical information about our country's history. Only on Bit of a Wander do you get incredible historic detail like that. All right, I think we'll go up one block and walk down through some homes to Market Street. These old buildings are amazing. Ah, this door. You got to see this door. Hold on, I love this thing. I'm going to take a picture of it too. Those of you, again, who are subscribers and watch a lot of videos here will know that in addition to travel vlogging, I'm also a photographer. So, if you get squirrely and you want to see something cool, I think it's cool anyway, go check out bitofawander.com. Still a work in progress, but I'm starting to build out a site where you can go back and look at some of my old travel photos. It's a cool basketball court. But I've been passionate about travel and photography for a long time, well before the start of this channel. So if you get a chance, go check out bitofawander.com, and I'll be continuously adding more and more to that site. And I'm thinking about, for subscribers, figuring out how to, there we go, cool. Figuring out how to make it so you can download the photos and use them for not for profit purposes, like your computer background. But again, don't know how to do that yet. I may just make it free use, allow my work to get out there. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not going to have a Patreon. I'm doing this because I like to explore. And being able to do so in a way that allows others to go on these journeys with me is really fun. Very fulfilling for me to get a chance to share these places that I love and these experiences that I love, and honestly to record them so I can go back and enjoy them again later. But feel free to check that out, bitofawander.com, or go back and look at my Instagram, which is currently BOA Wander, at BOA Wander, but soon will be at Bit of a Wander on Instagram. So you should be able to check me out there as well and go back and look at a ton of old photography that I think is pretty good. Holds up really well. What do you guys think? Oh, we've got a pile of bricks up here. I wonder if they're doing some repaving of the patio or the cobblestone streets. And this is 3rd and Sutton, and it looks like we've got a museum and the county, and there's the trolley again driving around town. Love it. An old historic marker, very old. And then the city of Limestone, you'll remember from the mural, Limestone Landing. Yeah, these are the city offices. There's the treasurer. This is the clerk's office. And the courthouse. Wow. I gotta cross the street so you guys can see this courthouse. And across from the courthouse, of course, the attorney's offices. But check this out. That really pops today with the blue sky. Amazing. So that is the county courthouse. And that is the First Presbyterian Church, built in 1850. Gorgeous. And then some old homes here. This one built in 1838. Amazing. So this was here before this was here. And then check out this street. Oh my goodness. Look at this. That is just so pretty. Look at those old historic row homes. This one was built in 1822. People are very proud of their historic homes down here. You can tell they've got the historical markers. Wow. How pretty is this? Leaves falling, historical downtown. I hope you guys really enjoyed this walk. I loved it. I had an absolute blast. Well, and I don't think we're going to get a better spot to end our historic tour of Maysville than this spot right here. So, with that, I will leave you all, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for walking with me. Please make sure you subscribe, like the video if you did indeed like the video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.